Go, man.
All right, we live, man.
We here.
We here.
We live, man.
Gang.
What up with it?
Sipping, man. You know the vibes. Backwoods, but I ain't got no backwoods.
I'm just sipping on some tea in my Batman cup. That's it.
That nigga said a Batman cup with the cape out.
Oh yeah.
Peep the science, God.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Cape out. Batman cup.
Absolutely.
AO robe activated.
My man, Damian Sandow Baker.
You heard, ladies, gentlemen, ducks, dogs, cats, all that, man. What up, man? What up with y'all? Thursday evening things. Bug out on assignment. He might tap in, of course, but we're here.
Better late than that. But we here, man. You see the graphics is clean. The belt shined up. Microphones is all attached. Graphics looking good. The Godiva brothers is in the Spiznai. Black Man Muscle. We here, man.
Word up.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Let's just go right on ahead and get this show started. Let you know what it is and what it ain't. This is a disclaimer. We're not journalists. We're not reporters. We're not insiders. We don't work with or for any pro wrestling companies. We're not pro wrestlers, nor have we ever been. We are not backstage at pro wrestling shows, nor are we getting any dirt from anybody backstage at pro wrestling shows. We watch pro wrestling shows, and then we talk about them, because we're pro wrestling fans. And chances are, if you're watching or listening to this show, so are you. And by the way, Tony doesn't know you. Vince doesn't know you. Hunter doesn't know you. Hunter's name isn't even Hunter. It's fucking Paul. Get a grip. Watch your mouth. This is the Ringside Club.
Peace to the gods, the Ringside Club pod. My name is A.O. Say you're the Ron the Don. Blame Boogie while you at it, blame Chad Law. K-Fabe is dead, break the fourth wall. Whatever style, whether it's lucha or strong style. Come through the venue, fly, burn the bar down. Back to the pad, chop it up for the par. Ringside Club, intro to the squad as the show starts.
Peace to you and yours.
Guys.
We back, man.
Yes, we are.
Episode number 66. This is the Ringside Club, like we usually do, broadcast live from the Empire Tri-State. Thursday night live here on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it. Here live on YouTube. I think we might be live on Twitch as well. We're here, man. 3 of the 4. My name is AO, things of that nature. First and foremost, you can check everything you need to know about the Ringside Club at theringsideclub.com across all social media. That means Instagram, Threads, TikTok, X, like I previously mentioned. Make sure you follow us over there. All of the audio is available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and all of the podcast platforms, and the on-demand for the video. It'll be live as soon as we're not live, right there on YouTube, man. So tap in with us. What's good, fellas? How we feeling tonight, man?
Feeling nice and toasty and warm with my tea and this heater running right now, bro. It's too cold outside.
Sipping, man. Got the rosé poured. Y'all know what I do. Got the dirt going. The RSC predictions, heavyweight champion. Got the big belt on him. Feeling good. Feeling great. It's Thursday night. It's the favorite night of the week. Y'all make sure y'all check our channel. It's the Ringside Club. Like, subscribe. We got 100 subs. We're going for 200. You know what I'm saying? The episode's going to continue to keep rolling through every single week. We got shows on deck for y'all in 2024, so best believe we're going to keep the channels flowing. Content is going to be contenting. We're going to be at Wale Mania too. Make sure we let niggas know.
Word.
We'll be in Philly. You know what I mean? We're figuring out World's End what we're going to do, but you might catch the RSC at World's End. It's right in the backyard. You know what I mean? So,
yep.
I think it'll be a worthwhile show. I think we should, off air, we're going to talk about it, but I think we should pull out, you know what I mean, and make some presence felt that night. It's only right. It's Nassau Coliseum. Tickets is probably going to be, usual AEW situations when it comes time when the date draws closer. So we'll see how that goes. But,
Word.
Main thing, we gotta get into that media scrum, man. I'm putting it into the universe right now, from my mouth to God's ears, man. We gotta get into that media scrum right in the backyard. We need the RSC there, man. It's been a lot of chumps in the media scrums, asking some stupid ass questions, being fanboys and shit. I know this is a little early. Sorry about the demonetization and whatnot, but I just gotta get it off my chest, man. I just see these media scrums and I just be pissed with some of these questions that they asking, man. It just be bothering me, yo.
I don't know why anybody takes any of these media scrums serious at all. Like,
it's just fanboy, man. It's just like, hey, it's John Elzer from Wrestling with Friends and MJF.
Bro, you really expect
MJF? What do you like to do for fun after you win matches?
I don't know. I personally don't care enough about anybody up there at that podium to ask a hard-hitting question at all. Who cares?
Kayfabe only. That's what I want to hit him with. I'm gonna hit him with this shit. I'm gonna be like, kayfabe only.
Nah, there's kayfabe questions up there, and those are all right. Like, I don't know. I really don't care. I couldn't care less. I think like the media scrum shit is dope for some free tickets. Other than that, who cares? I really don't care.
You know what? I'm putting it on my presser. I'm going to represent for the RSC and be at the.
It ain't going to be me. I'll tell you
I'm going to be at the media scrum.
I'll be at the bar.
I'm going to hold it down. You know what I mean? I'm going to ask Tony Khan them hard-hitting questions.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so he can swipe. He could just dip and dash out of that. Who cares?
Yo, Tony Khan, how hard are them drugs you be doing, man?
Wow. So moving right along, it's the Ringside Club. It's episode number 66. We got a lot of wrestling to talk about. There's been a lot of things in the news this week. I saw that your man Kushida signed with TNA. I saw that Trent Seven is with TNA. TNA's making some moves, so peace to them.
Peace to them.
I'm here for it, man. I hope Moose beats Alex Shelley and becomes TNA World Champion at Hard to Kill in January in Vegas. That'd be nice. You know what I'm saying? Alex Shelley's reign has been cool, but it's time for Moose to get back into the spotlight. He's got a lot more potential as the champion as opposed to the challenger. But that's just me, though, as a Moosehead. Pause.
I think that's Moose hasn't been champion for a little bit, right?
He hasn't been champion since the pandemic when he was a TNA champion. So I think it's fitting that he becomes a real TNA champion again.
Oh, word, man. So I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind seeing that at all.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Okada coming back, Ospreay coming back. TNA's in a pretty good spot right now, man. I mean, it's looking all right. Fire.
Anything in the news that we want to talk about, or we can just go right into these topics?
What's happening in the news cycle of the professional wrestling realm? Percy Jackson and the Olympians featuring Adam Copeland.
Say what?
Percy Jackson and the Olympians featuring Adam Copeland to premiere on Hulu and Disney, as you see by his pimp suit at the red carpet.
Yo, speaking of that Von Erich movie, is there a date for that Von Erich movie?
Iron Claw.
Yeah. I'll find out right now. I know
that looks pretty solid, man.
I know.
I didn't see the commercial until earlier today. It's a rated R movie. It's a hell of a story. Anybody that knows anything about the Von Erich family, any of those Dark Side of the Ring shows. So I'm curious to see. Like I might actually pop into the theater for that.
Yeah. It was pretty dope to see John Cena and MJF stand together in a picture. That was pretty cool.
That was dope.
I almost wonder if John Cena acknowledges MJF on some Roman Reigns shit. Like, I acknowledge you as the AEW World Champion. Like, I'm sick. Like, I'm like, you know how the Undertaker talks about AEW, right? Like, I wonder if that's how the rest of the OD top of the card in WWE talks about.
I don't think so. I think all of these dudes say what they need to say in front of people, and outside of that, they cool. Just yo, you think somebody that works for Pepsi that's cool with somebody that works for Coke is gonna say fuck you if they, you know what I mean? Like, nah. In real life, it ain't that serious. I think all this stuff is for show. It's all cap.
Undertaker is the barometer of those guys. That other place, the secondary.
Hey, I think it's on camera. You would have said that about Cody Rhodes 3 years ago when he was smashing the throne with the sledgehammer. Now look at him. You know what I mean? You would have said that about CM Punk 2 years ago. Now look at him. He's home, right?
Said about CM Punk 6 months ago.
Yo, whoever got the check, cut it. That's what it is.
So Iron Claw is gonna be released next Friday.
Next Friday. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, I might. That's a solid movie. I'm looking forward to it.
I believe all of us have seen that Devon Eric story on one of the Dark Side of the Ring. So I'm very intrigued to go and see the actual movie. So I know that's gonna be insane.
Yeah, like an actual motion picture version of that should be solid. Should be solid.
That's gonna be crazy.
I agree.
Yo, by the way, peace to the Black Guy Wrestling Pod. 150 episodes, 5 years. 150 episodes, 5 years.
Yo, salute to the guys, man. Cheers. Yo,
so peace to them, man. That's solid. We got our little measly 66 episodes. 150 episodes is a hell of a commitment.
Yeah, man. Salute to everybody that's staying consistent and doing what they're doing to
1,000%
brand their podcast out. There's somebody that's watching this right now that just started episode 5. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we was at episode 5.
Hey, man, just got
60 episodes ago. So hey, man. You was trying to space with us. Nigga, kill or be killed. Move or move over. Ran or get ran over. Ran with or run over. Run with or get run over. That's pretty much it.
Yes, sir. All that. Just gotta just stay consistent and just one episode at a time. And I just saw we have 104 subscribers now. So salute to all y'all, man, for subscribing and supporting, man.
Yeah, we doing our thing, man. RSC. We're doing our thing. Coming up on the close of another calendar year, another great year.
What's the fact? We upgraded, man. I got microphones. I ain't in the car. Shit's different, man.
Yo, I'm gonna keep it a buck. I got something on the way. I'm not exactly sure when the delivery date is, but when I do get this, it is very ringside related and it's very fire.
Damn, so this guy's gonna pull up with the fucking John Cena spinner belt and just have us put the AO on it.
I will say it's not a title belt. It ain't a title belt, but it is very fire. It might even be better than the title belt.
Tight. Guy's gonna have real size Jay White in the building. It's crazy.
Yo, I'm gonna have Jay White in the crib. Just chill.
Bang bang gang.
Just the bang bang gang live from XYZ Queens, New York. Know what I mean,
that's funny.
Word up.
Get into it, man.
Yeah, let's do it. So, bring these graphics up. A little pre-production never hurt nobody. Tomorrow.
Look for y'all too. Best believe it's going down.
Tomorrow is Final Battle, Ring of Honor Final Battle coming to you live. Looks like it's starting at, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, something like that. Yeah. It's exclusively on Honor Club this year, so it's not on pay-per-view. It's only on Honor Club, which is dope because I am subscribed to Honor Club.
I think that'd be the best bet for them moving forward, and it should have been the case for them years ago.
I don't know, because that's no different. Here's the thing. They, according to whoever tracks these numbers, were doing better pay-per-view numbers for Ring of Honor than at any other point in Ring of Honor's history. So it's one of those things, if the bottom line makes sense, it makes sense. I don't know what the decision was or what the thinking behind the decision was to make this exclusive to Honor Club, because everything else that they've done since Tony Khan bought it has been a pay-per-view, but whatever, I'm cool with a $10 versus a $60.
Driving people to the network, to the channel.
No, I know 100%. I don't know if that's specifically the reason or if there's anything backstage. I ain't privy to them conversations. I don't give a fuck. I was gonna watch either way. It was on pay-per-view or on the club, so whatever. But so far there's 7 matches that have been announced. What we have currently on screen is the main event. The MVP, one of my wrestlers of the year, if not the wrestler of the year in my book, Athena. She's been killing it this year. She's put Ring of Honor on her back, and most people that have been tuned into Ring of Honor, they 4 starters have been tuned into whatever Athena's been doing, so peace to her. The story behind this real quick, of course, she's defending against Billy Starks. This is basically, she calls her minion. She's basically the follower, and finally she got tired of Athena's bully shit, so now she's challenging for that Ring of Honor Women's Championship, and that is the second pay-per-view in a row, I believe, that Athena's been main eventing a Ring of Honor pay-per-view. So there you go. Athena versus Billy Starks. Really quick, Billy or Athena, who you think takes it?
I think Athena retains it, but Billy Starks is going to give her a hell of a fight. I can see it.
You got Athena retaining. I got Billy Starks. Yo, peace to Billy Starks, by the way. We saw her at Ring of Honor.
Early, bro.
MLW.
Early.
Bought that little trading card, Billy Starks trading card. Took a picture with her real quick. So
yes,
I think it's real fire that, I believe this. I don't know if she's had a full calendar year as being signed to ROH/AEW. So if she got signed this year to then main event Final Battle against, you know, the MVP of ROH, hell of a come up for Billy. So shouts to that. But you have Ron, you have Athena, I have Billy. You got Chad.
I'm gonna go Athena. I don't think it's Billy's time yet. I might regret that. You know, just a pop of, oh yay, Billy Starks wins, but I think this is that first stop for Billy Starks. Athena gets the W here, and then maybe we'll see Billy Starks win in the rematch. But Athena just broke her nose. That could be the leeway for Billy Starks to win because Athena needs to take time off. But at the same time, I just think Billy Starks is not ready to be the focal point of the company yet, or at least the women's division. I could be wrong. I'm not all the way tapped into Honor Club. But for someone that you just said we just saw her, you know what I'm saying, at MLW, you know what I mean, doing the vendor thing after her match, it's like she still has quite a while to go before she's the one to dethrone the longest reigning Ring of Honor Women's Champion. That's me.
Yo, by the way, peace to Nick. Love from BGW, Black Guys Wrestling.
Peace, comment.
Salute to y'all, fellas. Salute to y'all, of course. I mean, and then yeah, nice little spam. You know you made it when you get spam. We got a spam comment, so we going up.
We be getting spam. We do be getting spammed a lot though. So you know, people are spamming our shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think this might be the first YouTube spam though.
It's just crazy. Really? He's trying to help us with the views and shit. It's like, man,
hey, whatever's clever. Peace to the spam.
I be seeing it all the time on the wrestling.
It's definitely apps. It's on the socials for sure.
Mm-hmm. I just be going, being right past him. I'm like, all right, I'm good.
We have Keith Lee 1-on-1 versus Shane Taylor. They were the Pretty Boy Killers, a tag team in Ring of Honor probably 10 or so years ago. Story behind this is Keith Lee left Shane Taylor behind, went to do his thing over in NXT WWE. Shane Taylor wasn't with it. Now that Keith Lee has returned, he's in the same company as Shane Taylor. He wants to see who actually is the best finally at Final Battle. So Keith Lee 1-on-1 versus Shane Taylor. I'm going Keith Lee. Although I think this is the big meaty men slapping meat, you know, main event right here. You know what I mean? I think this is going to be hard hitting.
There's no fucking way this is a main event, yo.
No, I'm saying this is the meaty men main events. Athena's the main event. Athena and Billy Starks is the main event, but this is like the heavyweight, you know, bout. We know specifically what Keith Lee can do as far as agility goes, but this is just going to be a slobber knock. But I'm going with Keith Lee for the win.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Keith Lee. And you gotta remember, I haven't watched ROH in God knows how long. So,
but you know, like some of this has been on Collision though. They've been doing some of this on Collision. Remember that sit down? It might have been last week or the week before. When Keith Lee had the white church suit on and all that.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I didn't remember it until you reminded me. I forgot that even happened. It was like wedged into whatever was going on. Yeah, I think I'll stick with Keith Lee. I'll go with Keith Lee.
2 for Keith Lee. Chad, what up?
3 for Keith Lee. It's insane that we still haven't gotten Keith Lee swerve 1. I don't think we'll ever will at this point. Keith Lee, wild to think that like my man really went from a dominant reign at NXT to Bearcat Keith or Bearcat Lee and to Floundersville in AEW / Ring of Honor. Shane Taylor doesn't win, and that's evident. This match will be very much so for the big guys. Will it have implications for a future title shot? Maybe. I think the winner of this one goes on to challenge the TV champion or the world champion moving forward. At least make it a stipulation match, number one contenders match, whatever the case is. This is filler. Keith Lee. That's it. I washed my hands with that match. Oh, did I say that too early? That too early?
I quit match. Tony Nese versus Ethan Page.
Building for weeks. Excalibur voice.
That's unfair though. Like if you honestly haven't been watching Honor Club, then
fam, Ethan Page just wrestled Kenny Omega on Collision.
Yeah, and he lost.
And they never made a mention of this match or this feud. How about that? That should tell you where this match is.
Warner Brothers Discovery doesn't sign checks for fucking ROH. They sign checks for AEW.
Yo, they went through a whole promo rundown of the entire card on Dynamite, but Ethan Page wrestled Kenny Omega last week, and they made no mention of Tony Nese or this match.
Hey, no bro, mention. I don't know. I don't book the shit. I just talk about it.
I know. I'm just observing.
I'm going with Ethan Page.
Oh, that's great. Well, yeah, that's not it. All right.
Ethan Page has been new and improved, something like that.
He's gotten himself in an amazing shape, best shape of his career.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna rock with Ethan Page too. Because if you were new and improving any shape or whatever, you know what I'm saying, trying to shoot you to the moon or whatever. So yeah, I got Ethan Page.
Nigga Ron said getting shot to the moon. What the fuck is?
All right. So not the moon, then aim for the stars.
I'm gonna hit the joint in a second because
piece to pop smoke. Piece to pop smoke, man.
I'm gonna hit the joint in a second because as we read through the rest of this card and I drink this rosé, I'm getting pissed. Ethan Page is fucking cooked, yo. And it's crazy that like my man was literally at the forefront of the North. And I tweeted this, yo. So it's like when you look at Impact Wrestling, TNA Wrestling, you see the North, their historic title reigns and all that shit. Ethan Page, to me, used to be the front runner. He had Karate Man, he had the charisma, the promo, all that shit. I was tapped in, yo. I used to be saying, man, Josh Alexander is fucked without Ethan Page. Like, that guy's going nowhere. 2 years later, the trajectory of Josh Alexander, we're getting hyped because he's going to House of Glory just to have a match. Ethan Page is just having an I Quit match on Final Battle after losing to everyone on the AEW roster for the last 2 years. And this is where he's at. Long story less long, Ethan Page wins. Who cares? And that's my stance.
And you know, I'm sorry, may just say this. I was the opposite too, because I was never really into all ego Ethan Page.
I fucked with Ethan Page more than Josh Alexander, but because of their split, I went more Josh Alexander than Ethan Page because Josh Alexander did shit and Ethan Page did nothing.
Right. Yeah. I never saw anything like pop out for me for like Ethan Page. So, but this is the first time to actually really see him like really pop out. You know what I'm saying?
That's insane, bro. He's had mad matches already. And this is like your first time. Like, that's what I mean by like, that's wild. Like, this is your first time caring about Ethan Page, and he's been wrestling on AEW television for a world heavyweight title match already.
Mm-hmm. And he
just wrestled Kenny Omega on free television last weekend.
Right, and it wasn't terrible.
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't terrible.
It sparked my rant. I was like, yo, this guy went nowhere real fast.
Right. And I was
Firm stable, cooked. Hardy stable, cooked. Like, wow, Ethan Page is fucked. Like,
right, and that's what I was thinking. I was like, you put him in these positions, and it's like, all right, I still don't care. But,
call me crazy, but I think Ethan Page should go back to TNA and chase Josh Alexander's coattails.
I wouldn't be mad at that. I mean,
revive the North or feud with Josh Alexander.
We'll see. Well, I don't know when this contract is up, but
fresh off the Tony Khan Twitter. I don't even have this loaded up into my presentation. Just tweeted this out about 2 minutes ago. The Von Erichs versus the Outrunners. Wow. Looks like this is a 0 hour match. This is a 0 hour match.
Give me patience. Give me patience.
This screams and like NWA to me.
Again. There's the Outrunners are actually dope. This is one of those things. Again, if you ain't been watching, you ain't been watching.
Right.
Outrunners are kind of dope. I'm not saying that they're lighting the fucking crowd on fire or nothing like that.
Those are the guys that faced Sting, right? They faced Sting and Darby the other week that everybody was fucking going crazy for. Like, oh my God, their gimmick and their look and they're so cool. That's them, right?
This is a 0 hour match. Von Erichs. So clearly, I'm going Von Erichs because this is to get the Texas crowd up. I'm sure both of y'all are going with the Von Erichs. We can move on to the next match.
Absolutely.
And
like I said,
we're going with that too. You could just,
and like I said, I haven't watched, but it's like I'm just looking based off the graphic, and I was like, it just screams NWA to me. Just my opinion.
We can breeze through these next. Vikingo versus Black Taurus. I'm going with Vikingo.
Vikingo.
Gonna be an all right match though. Vikingo gonna flip the shit out that match. He's gonna be doing flip flops. It's gonna be fire. It's gonna be fire.
Blackpool Combat Club. We got Claudio and Mox and Brian Danielson versus Mark Briscoe and FTR. This is a little bit of a Jay Briscoe tribute match. Plus, we got 4 dudes that are in the Continental Classic active right now, so hopefully none of them get hurt. But yeah, I don't know. This is a good match. I might go Mark Briscoe and FTR, to be honest, and see Mark Briscoe making the pin. I'm not sure who he pins. Maybe it's Claudio. But I might go Briscoe and FTR for the win.
Right, I'm doing the same thing. Now I was just thinking about who would take the pin, because they're all in the Continental Classic. Shit. Yeah, I can't call it. But
I was going Blackpool Combat. But I'm gonna rock with y'all. I'm gonna go FTR Briscoe just because the Jay tribute show. I think Mark gets the pin on Claudio because he's the only person that can actually take a pinfall. I might regret this.
Exactly. Thinking the same shit.
Yeah,
I might regret this, but because it just from a logic standpoint, Mark Briscoe needs a visual win because he hasn't been getting a visual win over the last 2 months. So it's like, all right, at least let him get a pinfall on somebody to at least drive some type of excitement for his matches coming up. So
I think the other thing is he's probably going to take this win. And I think Mark Briscoe versus Jay, but I'll talk about the Continental Classic anyway, but I think he's probably going to get his only win against Jay Lethal, because I think Jay Lethal's story is that he knows he has the. We'll talk about it in a minute. But
man, funny because I'm going the opposite way, but we will talk about it though.
We'll talk about it in a minute. Wheeler Yuta versus Filthy Tom Lawler. This is a pure rules match. This is interesting. I don't know. Wheeler
just got the belt back, bro.
I can see Wheeler. Yeah, Wheeler just won the joint back. I think Wheeler takes the win here. Yes, this should be interesting.
Yeah,
but I'm going with Wheeler.
Yeah, I'm going with Wheeler with a screwy finish.
Wheeler. He just won the title back. He's been playing hot potato with the pure title for the last 2 years, I feel like. So it ain't no point in fucking wasting Tom Lawler's time with a title reign. Wheeler's gonna take it.
And I believe this is the last one. We have the Venkat TV Championship. This is Dalton Castle versus Lee Moriarty versus Lee Johnson, Big Shotty. Kyle Fletcher, Commander, and then one more contender yet to be named. I mean, I'm going with my nerd shit. I'm like, Lee Moriarty is one of my top 3, 4, 5 favorite wrestlers. So, emotional pick here. I'm going with Lee Moriarty. I'm not sure that Kyle Fletcher loses this, though. Like, I can see Kyle Fletcher being the guy. He's part of the Don Callis family. We know that he's part of the same crew as Will Ospreay. He's taken some losses, but all of the losses have been against, former main event guys or current main event guys. So, I'd like to see Lee Moriarty win. I might go with Kyle Fletcher, roll of the dice either way. I'm going to say Kyle Fletcher.
That's funny because I was going to go with Kyle Fletcher too, because I think there's going to be a chance for him to bring some gold back to the Don Callis family, because nobody has nothing over there right now, so it'll be something,
Going with Randy Orton here. I kind of feel like it'll be Kyle Fletcher too, because it is the Don Callis family, and despite whatever we say, they are forcing the fuck out of the Don Callis family on us, even though nobody's really paying attention unless you watch Rampage. But they're really going to let you know that, the Don Callis family is here to stay. We're undefeated. We're going to attack Kenny Omega, et cetera, et cetera. I can say it either is going to come down to Dalton Castle or Kyle Fletcher. But I will take Kyle Fletcher just for the sake of advancing a storyline. Dalton Castle is great. Commander doesn't win. Lee doesn't win. Neither Lee wins. The mystery guy, I think, that can be the person that pops up just because they're a former champion is going to be AO's fucking favorite, Minoru Suzuki. Just because it's there's only going to be randoms that have been involved in the television title, I feel like. And why would you advertise a random mystery guy that's not a former television champion? So the only one that makes sense is going to be Ishii. So everybody else is a former champion. Jeff Cobb's tied up. Punishment Martinez is running the WWE. Tracy Williams can't get over. Tony Deppen can't get over. Dragon Lee is running NXT. Rhett Titus can't get over. Samoa Joe vacated the title. Will Ospreay ain't competing here. Jay Lethal can't buy a win. Ciampa's with WWE. Matt Taven is already involved. El Generico's gone. Christopher Daniels is washed. Eddie Edwards is with TNA. If I go off that one, it's going to be Suzuki or Ishii, who are the mystery guys for this one. So, either way, Kyle Fletcher wins, and he pins one of the leads.
Word up. Yeah. So that's Final Battle, Ring of Honor. That's tomorrow night, Honor Club, things of that nature. And then real quick, these are the updated standings for the Continental Classic. I know both of you gentlemen have Continental Classic related topics. Yay. So let's just really quick. Gold League, Mox is up top with 12. He has one more match, and that match will be...
He should not have won.
Huh?
Should not have won, but I'm happy. I'm all right. I'm all right he won. It is what it is.
Mox versus Jay White next week. Swerve versus Roosh next week. Swerve has 9 points. Roosh has 6. We have Mark Briscoe versus Jay Lethal. I think Mark Briscoe's first victory and only victory is going to be against Jay Lethal.
That's crazy.
So I think what they're doing with Jay Lethal is like he's been relying on the Jarrett Association for so long and cheating and 6 people out at ringside with him that he's forgotten that he's a former world champ and he has the ability to do it, but he's not, in tip-top shape right now to do that shit, at least mentally. So I think he loses completely. I think he loses all of his matches, and then he finally gets rid of the Jeff Jarrett Association. And then I'm not sure what you do with him. I don't know if he goes back to Ring of Honor. I don't know what title he tries to contend for, but I think that's Jay Lee. I think Mark Briscoe was just like the emotional victory. I think it's, like lovable loser type shit. Like if you're a fan of like a bad basketball team or sports team in general and they win their last... Yeah, I think if they win their last game of the season, even though they're not contending for the playoffs, you're still happy about it. So I think that's Mark Briscoe.
This is literally the Pistons versus the Wizards with Mark Briscoe versus Jay Lethal right now. If I put it in NBA terms.
Right. But so that's what I think. And then with Jay Lethal coming up against Jon Moxley, Mox ain't losing. So I think he beats Jay White. But interesting shit here. I think that Mox match. Listen, man, I'm so happy. I am so happy that the crowd reacted the way that they did before that match started. AEW chants, holy shit chants, everybody on their feet for the beginning of Jon Moxley versus Swerve Strickland, because that shows you that we don't need fucking clowns and Doink the Clown shit to bring the standings back.
We don't need devil masks.
If there was ever, I don't even want to talk about that shit today. Fuck that. If there was ever evidence.
Not doing Devil Mask Watch this week?
Absolutely not. I don't want to talk about that shit. I don't want to talk about shit that I think is whack. Fuck that. Mox versus Swerve was so much evidence that all you need is the standings to be back and have people actually buy into that wins and losses shit that y'all were talking about when AEW started, and then that builds the match. Before this, there was never any moment that Swerve and Jon Moxley had any interaction with each other whatsoever. This was built off of basically 4 weeks. This was 4 weeks of a build that had nothing to do with either one of them. This is just a tournament.
I watched the end of this match and was like, I watched the whole match, but I saw the end of it and I was like, Swerve's totally breaking and entering in the fucking Moxley's house in 2024, Who would have thought we were going to get this feud? But boy, we're getting
I hope they don't do that. Like I don't know if any of y'all saw like how they do those post match, at least for the Continental Classic, they've been having the post match. As soon as somebody goes backstage, they ask them. And Mox's statement was, I'm glad that you learned a lesson from me. Sometimes shit doesn't go the way. Yeah, I held your trunks. I held your belt rather. Ref didn't see it. Oh well.
But your shoulder was up. His shoulder was up.
But either way, the point is the ref didn't see the trunks or the belt. The ref didn't see the shoulder. Mox's point is sometimes whether you earn whatever you earn, you don't always get what you earn. So yeah, you may have been able to beat me, but you didn't because I did what I had to do. And that's the lesson that I'm teaching you. And Swerve shit was, I know, I came up losing to guys like you, but I'm gonna get you.
Swerve's breaking into his house. He's committing.
He's not breaking into his house. Moxley. I hope so. I hope they don't. I hope what they do.
No, I hope so. You're right. I hope so. I hope he gets.
Yeah, moving forward, just let that shit be about competition and who's better. Don't get to that, that breaking and entering shit. And by the way, fucking Hangman Page in his match was fire, and we got Hangman Page back in prime shape.
Yo, Moxley is a crazy motherfucker. If that dude,
that's breaking his
if that man breaking his house, he has a shotgun.
Moxley, I think that would be mad funny because Moxley would be sitting there like, I was waiting for you, motherfucker.
Yo, he gonna be sitting on the porch with a shotgun, like just waiting for the nigga.
Oh shit, Ron.
I'm just saying,
fucking
man. Listen, you know John
what do you think
Moxley.
Moxley's crib is? You think it's in Mississippi or Ohio or Vegas? This nigga said his crib is in Nashville. What the fuck?
All right, 38 caliber, is that better?
Damn. You say he waiting for Swerve on his porch with a shotgun. It's crazy, son. If Hangman wasn't waiting with a shotgun, you think Moxley gonna do it? He's a cowboy. You know what I'm saying? You gotta think about these things. Peep the science, God.
Nah, Mox got two box cutters.
Yeah, he got brass knuckles and a box cutter just ready to go.
Knuckles.
Yo, imagine somebody coming to see you with brass knuckles on the left and a box cutter on the right.
It's like, what am I doing here? It's like, oh shit.
I'm more scared of that than the gun, to be honest. Like, my G, what's?
Yeah.
I'm just glad that match, like, that was just evidence that just keep doing this. Do this. Bring the standings back. Bring the sport back. Leave the other shit to the other guys. Moving along, Blue League.
Ain't going front though. I felt like I was watching Raw when I watched Jay White versus Mark Briscoe again. I was like, is this Raw or AEW? Because this is quite repetitive of a win here. Crazy.
No, it was cool. It was cool. Like this even in this tournament, there's rematches. Like we had Eddie and Claudio, and we've seen that twice already. Who fucking cares? I think the fact that they have a personal feud and there's something on the line, there's points on the line for every match, that's enough stakes for me. You know what I'm saying? It's something that they're fighting for. So I wasn't mad at that.
Roosh is so over, and I love to see it.
Love it. Yeah, speaking about Roosh, who's he fighting next? Roosh versus Swerve. It's going to be fire. I think Swerve takes it.
I think Swerve takes that, too.
Yeah, but I think Roosh has done enough in this tournament that when he's done, he's still over. Win, lose, or draw for this. And we haven't seen any draws either yet, by the way.
Which is pissing me off, actually. Right. And time limits, no, nothing. Just
right.
I thought that Mox versus Swerve is going to be the draw.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was about to say.
Especially with the overrun.
Which I think they're going to give it to some bullshit match. Like, it's going to be like Garcia and Kingston against the draw. So we're going to be like, huh?
We'll see.
Yeah.
Blue League, these are the collision matches coming up. Looks like, wait, I do have these. These are the collision matches. We got Eddie Kingston versus Daniel Garcia coming up. This is live on Saturday. We have Brody King versus Bryan Danielson.
This is going to be fire.
And then we have Andrade and Claudio. All three of these matches are fire.
Oh, my God, it's going to be good.
I think all these matches in the tournament so far have been fire, man. So I have no doubt.
I think the Blue League has had like maybe slightly better matches. But either way, I think everything has been really, 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 really fucking good.
I agree.
Like, look at this.
Absolutely.
Brody, it was almost like an upset. It was almost an upset with Brody losing last week.
Yeah, this is a strong case that Brody King could be pushed to the single star after this.
Should be.
Wouldn't be mad at that. That's what he was before. So
yeah, current Blue League standings. Andrade is still undefeated. He's with 9 points. Bryan Danielson, Brody King with 6 points. Claudio and Eddie Kingston with 3. Daniel Garcia still has not won. He has 0. So, yeah. Looks dope. Looks dope.
Yes, sir.
All right. What's next?
Yeah, so my topic is
grab some water real quick.
Yeah, my topic's pretty much gonna just piggyback off this Continental Classic. Question to ask is who's gonna have the best bounce back from, or I guess like the best trajectory or whatever coming out of this tournament.
I'll give my answer now. Before I go grab this water, I'm gonna say I don't think Daniel Garcia wins. I think Daniel Garcia's entire story. I mean, we saw with the last match, he went back to the trunks. He's shedding all of that Jericho Appreciation Society stuff. All right, so he's shedding all of the sports entertainer. He's remembering what he can do. I don't think he gets rid of the dance. I just think he doesn't do the dance during matches by the time he's done with this. I think it's like after the match or before the match, whatever. But I think the whole story with Daniel Garcia is like, let me remember who I am.
Right.
And by the time we get to next year, I think that's such a great like comeback story. Regardless of what happens between this year and next year, I think that's going to be like a really, really good moment for him to let me show y'all what I can do. Right? There's no better wrestling moment than a wrestling tournament. Let me show y'all that I'm a real wrestler. And I think he gets busy next year. So I'm going to say Daniel Garcia pops back up. He might even take the dub.
I'm going to say the same thing because, obviously we see Daniel Garcia he's undefeated right now. And I feel like he's going to get serious, like you said, and he's going to have the crazy comeback. I think after that, what you said before, about Jay Lethal, I think because Jay Lethal he has 0-2, and I believe after this, if he may or may not get another win, I think he's going to get real serious again. He's going to drop he's going to start rolling with Jeff Jarrett and get back into this real competitive state. I don't know what exactly he's going to do. He may go back to Ring of Honor because honestly, I think that was the last time I really saw him like really serious and like saying, yo, like I am like that guy. And I think that was when he was in the Foundation with John Gresham and the two other guys. Their names escape me right now. And and I'm going to stick with those two guys because I think it's going to change how they look at what they're doing with themselves right now. If you guys are 0 right now, because when did Jay Lethal, he had the match yesterday, right? Because I had to play crazy catch up with watching wrestling this week, and you see how frustrated he was walking back up the ramp.
Yeah, he almost didn't walk back with them.
Right,
he almost walked away from him.
Right, and then now he's going to see like, okay, I'm doing too much clowning around with you guys. I just went 0 in this tournament, and this is not how I was. Right, I'm one of the, was he like the longest reigning ROH TV champ of all time? And I was now I'm back in this position.
World champ, TV champ, probably I think it was a tag champ with Gresham, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. So now I'm in a tournament and I'm 0, and I'm like, yo, dog, I am far from retiring. I can still go. So
my devil's advocate to that is there's been no interference in this whole tournament. So how can you blame Team TNA?
No, that's the point. Yeah, that's the point, is that he's been relying on them. Win, lose, or draw, prior to the Continental Classic, all of his matches had interference, and he's interfering on behalf of Jeff Jarrett, and they're all interfering on behalf of each other. So this is him remembering, oh, fuck, I don't really need y'all. I should be able to at least get 1 victory, 2 victories.
Right, you know because he was unfocused before the tournament started. So
he got lazy. The whole point is he got lazy and reliant on interference.
Right, so now he has no interference. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, damn, I'm fucking up right now. I was like, nah, I got to get focused again.
Okay, fair.
Yeah. So what you got?
I think if I'm not mistaken, Ron, I think the Foundation dudes were. I think Rhett Titus was part of that. I think,
and Tracy Williams.
Tracy Williams. I think Bandito might have been part of that. It was like a weird, eclectic group of people. It's the fucking Village people of ROH. They had just mad random people together.
I don't remember Bandito being a part of that, but I might be wrong. But I do remember it was Tracy Williams and Red Titus. That was a good ass group, man.
All right.
Tracy Williams, by the way, just had a fire match last episode of Ring of Honor against Lee Moriarty. It was a qualifier for that TV title match. Fire.
Sure, I might try to watch that tomorrow then.
Who run the specific question back?
Like who's gonna have like a good bounce back or a good trajectory after the tournament? It doesn't have to be like guys who are like 0-0.
Swerve.
Okay.
Swerve will be the AEW world champion with every match that goes on moving forward. Like he looks like one of the most homegrown, natural guys who can carry it without even saying anything on the mic. And Nana's going to do a stupid dance, and Swerve's going to win the title and then kick Nana to the curb type shit. And that'll be Swerve's first feud as Nana's a face. And it's a whole lot of crazy cockamamie booking going on. But Swerve, I think if he doesn't win, that's perfectly fine, yo. He can absolutely be a world champion and be above the Continental Classic. This is a tournament that Jay White needs to win. Jay White needs to be in the fight too.
Word. Hey, can you put up those the Continental Classic graphics again? So I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody, because those are the two people I thought of at the top.
Yeah. Gold League, we have Mox, Swerve, Roosh, Mark Briscoe, Jay Lethal, and Jay White. And then in the Blue League, and currently in the Gold League, Mark Briscoe and Jay Lethal don't have victories. They're both at 0. And then over on the blue side, Daniel Garcia is still winless, but we also have Eddie Kingston, Claudio Andrade, Brody King, and Brian Danielson.
I'm going to go with Andrade too, because now he has CJ Perry with her, and he's been getting some solid wins. And then I think we may or may not see something with him and with Miro. I think that would be a good feud.
I'm sick because I see Andrade out of here. I think Andrade is going back to the E in the next 12 months. Internet speculation, all the hoopla, this, that, and the third. I'm buying into it. I think Andrade is out of here. Win, lose, or draw, I don't think he's staying here. Roosh is taking his spotlight, and I think Andrade would be better off going back to the Triple H regime and battling up Dragon Lee and taking over NXT and SmackDown and Raw and being with Charlotte. And I just think Andrade's time is coming to an end quietly. And we're not speaking about it because it's all speculation. But I think the online shit and the way things are going and how they've been, I don't think Andrade is going to be so keen to be like, I want to stay another 2 years in AEW. Like, I don't think that's happening.
How long has he been here so far?
2 years. I don't think it's happening. Yeah, I think he's got that 3-year deal type of shit they do. So because the injuries, attacking on time, I think Andrade's out of here by next year. By this time next year, Andrade's going back to the E.
By time next year. Might not be wrong about that. I mean, depends on what
this episode is called the Continental Classic Club, by the way, because my next topic. Where's Continental Classic this whole episode?
Shit, it's the best. It's the best thing I'm watching on wrestling right now.
It's the Continental Classic Club tonight, y'all.
Hello.
No, I ain't going front. Like, just from a wrestling standpoint, like, that is a very good tournament that's just buying time. And I know I can watch AEW and expect. I ain't going front. Without even looking at the Road to Dynamite or the card before, I didn't realize that I was going to see every Continental Classic match last night. Like, I was like, wait a minute, Andrade and Brody King are here? Is this a fucking glitch right now? Like, this was Collision.
Whole shit fire. Whole shit's fire.
I was like, is this Collision? Like, they actually on Dynamite right now doing this shit? Oh, shit. Like, Jay White and Mark Briscoe only 5 minutes, but I was like, this looks like a Collision match right here. Like, oh, shit.
They still put on a banger, man.
5 minutes, that shit flew. I ain't going front. I was like, 5 minutes, like, legitimately, it was a 5-minute match. You know what I'm saying? But it flew. It worked.
But, like, yo, even the story right there, the story in that match is like Roosh got choked out by Mox last week. And now this week he beats Jay Lethal with a even more lethal fucking choke. And then his promo backstage was more about Mox than it was about Jay Lethal. He was like, yo, Mox, that's how you choke somebody out. Because you remember, like, when Mox choked Roosh out, he popped right back up and started arguing with the ref.
Yeah, I remember
so his whole argument is like, yo, he ain't really. So think about, like, whatever happens with the Continental Classic, Roosh is trying to see Mox when this shit is over.
Roosh is taking things personal, I feel like, in this tournament. Yeah. Like, kayfabe wise, I feel like he's just collecting. He's like, all right, I'm going to come back to you. I'll be back.
Yeah, some things can be created out of this
and they want to see me beat you up. So I'll be back. Which is why I think it adds more to Andrade.
Right. And this is the dope thing about the tournament. Some things can be created out of this tournament. Just like what you said, like right there.
When this shit first started, I said the point of this tournament, or one of the best things, not the point, but one of the best things about this tournament is that all of the stories that come out of week 1, week 2, week 3, it's just going to be built. It's like fucking compound interest. You get injured,
right?
Then that injury continues to go. You lose, you get frustrated, that frustration continues to grow. That confidence, when you're undefeated like Mox, that confidence continues to grow. Those are fucking stories.
Agreed.
Like, this shit don't gotta be somebody jump somebody in the parking lot. There's different ways to tell stories.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Well, we're at 49 minutes in. I've got my prepped and cooked for the week, fellas. Everybody knows the Ringside Club, Chad Law's prepped and cooked segment. I feature some of the some names from the week that might be on the chopping block for prepped and cooked, as in they are done for the week. Like they are flatline. I think prep this week. I don't know, Ron, if he was tapped in. I don't know if he was tapped in. Some of our viewers might fucking want my head on a cinder block. Carmelo Hayes, Trick Williams. Y'all boys are prepped. Y'all boys are getting prepped.
I can see it because I feel like that was a storyline that should have been wrapped
over
already. Is I feel like they're really trying to extend it. I see what they're doing, but a lot is going on now. You're blaming Ilya for the attacks. I'm looking at this. I'm like, what are y'all doing? I was like, it don't make no sense. So I was like, what are y'all doing?
Fam, Trick Williams is the dumbest babyface in all of wrestling right now, and it's got me so upset. Ayo, I wish you was more tapped into this shit. I wish all of us as a collective was more tapped into this, but Ron, you know where
I get it because I'm looking at it. I was like, yo, what are they doing? And I was like, you should have wrapped this up a long time ago. You should have revealed already who attacked Trick Williams and get on with their lives. But I see that I don't know how long they're going to extend this to. Maybe Vengeance Day. I feel like at this point they're just forcing stuff.
Yo, fam, I know that all the companies copy each other every week, right? Mm-hmm. Like whether they want to admit it or not, they copy each other every week. Like from ambulances, hospitals, the entrances, the surprise returns. Like both companies are watching each other and trying to they're just taking stories from each other. I'm pretty sure they saw this double storyline on AEW and said,
"We're gonna do this. We're gonna do
this. We got something for y'all." And they are just playing with us right now. Pause. Like, this is egregious dragging of a whodunit storyline. Like, I can't believe people are online defending this shit. And I'm just over here, like, on an island of my own, on the RSC island. Like, yo, pack this storyline up already.
Yeah, like I said.
What the fuck is going on here? Melo is acting like he's not it. And then it's like, you know, some people are like, yo, when it's really revealed that Melo didn't do it, we're all going to be apologizing. It's like, yo, we could have got to that answer by now.
Right. And oh, man, listen,
Lexus King is fucking done, by the way. Like, he is cooked. He's cooked. I didn't get to cooked yet, but boy, that man is, yo.
Already.
His gimmick is that he is crap. And that is what I've realized. Like, I just want y'all to understand. His gimmick is that he knows he is terrible. Like, that's what I've come to the deduction of. From the not having pockets to put his shit in, to Jack and Melo shit. Pretty much going, thanks for making me famous, Melo, after their match. Like,
I just see him
he knows he's terrible, and that's his gimmick in NXT. Is like, yo, I know y'all know I'm terrible, so I'm just playing into it. Like, there's no way around that with Lexus King.
I looked at it like, judging from yesterday's NXT. Tuesday's NXT. It just seems like he's just a disruptor. Like he just knocked out that dude in the breakout tournament. Now he's in the tournament, and now he disrupted.
He would have been better off being in the breakout tournament.
You might as well should have just did that. So I don't know why you got the other guy out.
He's killing it. 22 years old. Obafemi.
You said
Black
who?
Wrestlers.
I'm sorry, Dan. What you said?
Obafemi.
Yeah,
that NXT dope. Breakout man, yo. Hey, yo, if there's a time to tap into NXT right now, this men's breakout tournament, 22-year-old Obafemi.
And that dude
from
that dude out of the Chase University, he's kind of nice with it too. He ain't bad.
Yeah, you're right. There's a lot of cool names that's popping up on his breakout tournament that I'm like, yo, I remember when Carmelo Hayes was in this tournament 3 years ago. So it's like, oh yeah, these guys are gonna be pretty. And it's like they looking good right now. I'm like, oh nah, they're gonna be wilding in 2 years. Like they're going
absolutely
crazy.
Yeah, because you see where Carmelo is, despite this storyline. You see where Carmelo reached. Like this dude was like NXT North American champion. And with the longest reigning NXT champions, so it's like, yo, breakout tournament is always dope. What was it, like the second or third year they're doing this? I think I might be wrong on that, but
it's like a yearly thing at this point.
Yeah, so it's like, yo, I know we're gonna get somebody dope out of this.
So I just think they're prepped right now. They are currently in place of being prepped. Cooked. It's a tie. Just for the sake of timing and getting to the final topic, I really couldn't decide who's cooked this week. The Devil storyline, as Ayo said, we want to focus on some of the positive, or Golden Jets in the AEW tag team division. Which one's more cooked, fellas? Which one's more cooked? Come on, give it to me. Which one to do?
God. Yo, honestly, like the Golden Jets.
In the whole AEW tag team division, let's get it. Let's get it.
Nah, ain't even tag division.
Nah, that whole tag division AEW is cooked right now, bro. They're cooked.
Tag division aside, I don't give a fuck. Tag division aside, that Golden Jet shit, like it's been time for Chris Jericho to just sit down for a minute. Kenny Omega looks like he's just very.
Watch this. I was like, yo,
I watched it.
I saw it. Yeah,
I watched this 4 times.
Kenny Omega looks so disinterested. Kenny Omega is like, you know how, like Kenny Omega needs a writer.
Yes, this is the one time Vince McMahon is right. This is the time when I look back at everything we used to joke about on eFeds and like the little blogs and shit. And it's like, yo, Vince McMahon's crazy and you don't need writers and AEW. Yeah, and it's like, that guy's a billionaire for a reason.
Listen. Wrestling, weekly televised wrestling is a TV show. TV shows have writers. Now, again, with wrestling, you don't always need somebody to script word for word and then you memorize like you do with regular TV shows and movies. But you do need somebody. I need you to hit this, open on this, hit these bullet points, end on this, and make it your own. Say it in your own voice. But where are we going with this shit?
Yeah,
the entire back and forth between the Jets and the current tag champs is who is a realer tag team, right? You guys have a tag team name and we don't, and blah, like there's no juice to this feud whatsoever. And then, so put that to the side. You could have just had, all right, competition wise, we're now the number 1 contenders, and let's, we didn't even do that. It wasn't even hot enough to say that we feel like we can really beat you in the spirit of competition. Like nobody came out of that segment looking good.
Yo, I was laughing and cringing at the same time.
So I couldn't believe
this is best in the world Kenny Omega. While the Continental Classic is going on that he's not a part of, he's now in a tag team with Chris Jericho. And forgetting lines and just out there like, bro, you forgot you were supposed to show up today.
Kenny's not a good promo a lot of the time. So I wasn't going crazy about this. But the thing is just Jericho that just was like,
he's another dude. Like he's another dude with the fake tag names and like it's shit that I think he thinks works and it just doesn't work. Or it didn't work. It's corny. It's very corny. And I think Jericho, the one thing about Chris Jericho, bro, Chris Jericho has gotten away with numerous corny moments throughout the duration of his career because that's partially been his character.
Right.
Partially like, I'm going to do this corny thing or whatever, but that's part of my character, so it's accepted. But at this point, at least in this situation here, first of all, why are y'all still a tag team? Y'all were a tag team by necessity because it was like the enemy of my enemy is my friend when it comes to Don Callis. This is no longer a Don Callis situation. So why are you still a tag team?
Still a Don Callis situation though. Don't say that.
Great. Don Callis has nothing to do with Ricky Starks or Big Bill. So what are we doing?
I will give Ricky Starks some credit for that last couple minutes. For that last,
he held it down.
He had an applause from the crowd where it was like,
yeah, he held it down. He even said, "Oh, y'all tried it, but y'all went too far and it was corny and it didn't work."
Ricky said that flopped, and then Kenny was like, "Yeah, I agree. That didn't really go over well." Like, I was like, "Am I watching this right now? Like, what is
1000%?
What is going on here?"
1000%.
The match will be good though. Match will be good.
The match is gonna be phenomenal. But my whole point is like, I'm not cooking the whole division. I'm cooking this tag team of Kenny Omega and Chris Jericho because there's no reason that it exists right now. There's no reason why they're still tagging.
Hey, yo, give me 5 tag teams right now that could be chasing the world. That could have a match
I can and I won't, and I don't give a fuck. But my point is, Kenny Omega.
Cooked, my guy. There we go.
It's not. It's not cooked because once you
5
start
tag teams that could replace the Golden Jets. Right
my memory ain't that good. That's not a fucking reflection of the tag division. That's a reflection of me. But we can go down and name a couple of tag
teams right now that can replace the Golden Jets with the top of your head. Go.
Who gives a fuck? The point is, Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega has no business still tagging with Chris Jericho when Kenny Omega is Kenny Omega and the Continental Classic is still going on.
So you'd rather Kenny Omega replace Mark Briscoe?
I'd rather Kenny Omega be doing something substantial as a singles guy. I thought
fantasy book Kenny Omega in 30 seconds in the Continental Classic. Who's he replacing?
Anybody. Who the fuck cares?
But who? Because that's a big difference, though. Because then we don't get this Golden Jets, and then whoever's getting replaced is not doing this Continental Classic story. So
my point is, you can put him in there with anybody. The Continental Classic was billed as the top talent.
Kenny Omega.
So you can take Jay Lethal out. You can also take maybe Mark Briscoe out. And the whole thing, Kenny Omega wins this or doesn't win this, he's top talent facing other top talent. The only person that I wouldn't touch, that I wouldn't take out of the Continental Classic is Daniel Garcia, because I think this is important in his development, his character development. Yeah. I think this is the beginning, the genesis of his comeback story. But what I would have been doing with Kenny Omega is you lose twice to Takeshita, and you have Don Callis assemble his whole crew, and one by one, Kenny Omega goes through Powerhouse Hobbs, he goes through Takeshita, he goes through all of them on his road back to figuring out who the fucking cleaner is. Not tagging with Chris Jericho in a tag like that. That's why this shit is corny, because Kenny Omega is way better than this, and he shouldn't be cutting promos ever.
This whole segment gets bit ado. Ado. If he said ado one more time, I was gonna flip.
Yo, he said bye-bye and bye-bye.
And toodles and ta-ta and adieu. I bid you adieu. Good night.
Good night and good night.
He sounds so disinterested, bro. So disinterested.
I just don't care about them. Like
good night. Keeping on the theme of this episode, this is the Continental Classic Club on the Ringside Club. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, tell a friend. Yo, the WWE, man, if they were able to book a Continental Classic, what are we calling it? The Titan tournament?
The Titan. I don't know. What did I call it before? Titan tournament. It was Titan something.
It was definitely the Titan tournament. Titan tournament or something. The Titan trials.
The weekly Titan tussle.
Yo, wrong era of Vince McMahon booking. So that is 1994. That is 94 in your house. The Titan tussle.
Titan tussle is amazing.
Tussle.
All right, so if we had a WWE Titan tussle, pause. Who are we picking from Raw and SmackDown to do this tournament? I'm gonna give a list of the names that have already been projected. Y'all can agree if we could take them out. We don't have to go too much in depth on booking, but let's just say
just who's in it. All
right. So off top, Bronson Reed from Raw, Chad Gable, Gunther, Ricochet, Sami Zayn, and Shinsuke Nakamura. How y'all feel about that?
Shinsuke Nakamura.
I'm thinking 4 and 4. What that was 6?
That's 6. Following the same AEW guidelines, but WWE version.
Okay. I would go Gunther. Where's Sheamus? Is he on SmackDown?
Injured with SmackDown.
SmackDown,
yeah.
Yeah, I would go. See, it's tough because like Gunther's a current champ.
So with that being said, Gunther's Intercontinental title will be on the line as he continues his.
Okay, so we got. Right. So basically, this is Intercontinental and US on the line, and the tournament win on the line.
So check it. The US title will not be on the line because Logan Paul will not compete in this tournament. I'm gonna get to that.
I'd have him in that fucking tournament.
All right. So let me just say. All right. So SmackDown, AJ Styles, Bobby Lashley, Dragon Lee, Grayson Waller, Kevin Owens, Santos Escobar. That is our 12.
I'd take Grayson Waller out. Who's the U.S. champ right now?
Logan Paul.
Yeah, I'd take Grayson out and put Logan Paul. And I think that 6 is perfect. I don't know that I would take anybody out of that outside of Grayson Waller. I'd swap for Logan Paul and put that U.S. title on the line.
I'll swap Grayson Waller for Butch. I think that would be
yeah, Butch should be in that.
Yeah, I think that would be dope.
Okay. All right. So,
but I need that. I want both titles. I want U.S. and Intercontinental on the line at the same time. Run the Raw side down again.
Yeah, I want to hear that again.
Bronson Reed, Chad Gable, Gunther, defending the Intercontinental title, a la Eddie Kingston, Ricochet, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura. And I say the Intercontinental title is the main one for grabs, with the runner-up getting a shot at the U.S. title.
So you got different rules. So it's basically like most points catches you. Most points catches Intercontinental. Second most points is U.S. or something like that, or at least contends for it, something like that.
Yes.
See, there's some names in there because like Ricochet, I don't know that I would have him in there.
Fire match.
I think there's more drama on the SmackDown side based on that roster as far as who doesn't or who can possibly win. I think SmackDown, I think Raw. I would see Gunther just running the table on that roster.
Okay.
You think he'd pull the Moxley and he'd be the 12-pointer every time?
But I think it's even better because he goes in as champ and walks out as champ.
Because if you look at the roster, he can beat everybody, and he's beaten everybody already. He's literally beaten the whole Raw roster.
Yeah. I think Gunther runs the table on that roster.
SmackDown could get tricky.
I'd put Punk in that shit.
I was thinking that, and I was thinking somebody out of Judgment Day replace somebody on Raw.
Yeah, I could see I'll probably put Damian in before I put Finn. I feel like Damian is I think Damian would play like a Brody King role, where you go in, you don't expect him to win, and then he wins one. Don't expect him to win, and he wins two. Next thing you know, he's leading the pack. I think Damian Priest, even though he's Money in the Bank right now, I think Damian Priest would be the guy to pull up a couple of upsets, and maybe he doesn't win the whole thing, but he comes out looking like a fucking $1 million at the end of that. I think I put Punk in there because everybody would expect Punk to win, and maybe he runs the table until the finals. Maybe he's tied with somebody at 4 wins apiece.
Nice.
You know what I mean? The final, my final on the Raw side would be Gunther versus Punk.
Yeah,
that's a fire match in itself.
Yeah,
that wouldn't be bad. I think just as far as just continual improvement, I'll put Dom in there because he's been doing pretty well. But then you have a little story behind him where he's still playing Dirty Dom in the tournament, and then finally, his dirty tricks ain't gonna pay off. That's how I look at it.
because there ain't no interference. There ain't no Judgment Day. There ain't no mommy. There ain't none of that.
Because because I know you haven't been looking at NXT, but he had a fire match with Dragon Lee on Deadline. Compared to when he started to now, he's really looking.
Oh, he's improved. Really I think he's WWE most improved.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I look at it from a color standpoint and I base it off AEW, Gunther's going to play the Moxley role and have the most points. I think the next most points would be Sami Zayn. And I think the least most points would be Ricochet. I think Ricochet would play the Danny Garcia role. Fire matches, but just can't get a victory against Shinsuke, Sammy, Gunther, Gable, Bronson, Gunther again.
100%. But I think the problem with Ricochet playing that role is there's no development with Ricochet. I don't think that's
what he's there to do. He's there to just.
But again, if he goes 0-5, then the next episode of Raw, he's just backstage talking shit. The difference is that Daniel Garcia, I think this is character development. I think this is character development for Jay Lethal as well. I think Mark Briscoe's character is lovable loser right now. Mm-hmm. So if you put Ricochet in that role, I think it's just all right, he just loses because he's a loser. And I don't think that's, I think he could be used way better than that. Even on this show in the past, I've been not really all that high on Ricochet, but it's more so the character. The ability is there. He's not a good promo guy, but you just have him lose, and then what? Lose next week outside of the tournament. You know what I mean? So
fair.
I probably would swap. I think I would take him out. He might be the guy I swap Punk for.
If I go on SmackDown and I compare it to the Blue League, AJ plays the Daniel Bryan role. quality matches. He will have the majority points, but then he'll have that loss to maybe Kevin Owens to where you're like, oh shit, AJ just lost.
Yo, by the way, did anybody have Andrade beating Bryan Danielson prior to the match?
Nah, I kind of just fell into the Danielson trap of like, he's going to sweep this whole shit. Right. He's going to have 12 points.
That was good.
I was like, I see this what makes it interesting. Wasn't expecting that whatsoever. I thought Bryan was going to take that, but
I think Bobby Lashley plays the Andrade sneaky role of 9 points. Like he gets one loss to maybe AJ, but he pretty much bodies the rest of the tournament. And I think that would be his role. I think Dragon Lee or interchangeable Grayson Waller or maybe Kevin Owens plays the 0 card. Actually, 2 of those 3 will play the 0 card because we're going off Blue League rules. And
you said Kevin Owens and you said Grayson Waller and
Kevin Owens, DragonLee, or Grayson Waller. 2 of those 3 will play the
0 card.
Straight 0 across it. And I hate to say Kevin Owens, but I feel like he would be the guy that could pull off a 0 across the board.
That was where I was going too. Damn, that's what I was going with Kevin Owens too. But unfortunately,
that's mismanagement.
Agreed. But it ain't gonna be Santos that gets 0-0. It ain't gonna be Dragon Lee that gets 0. I mean, Dragon Lee could get 0-0, but I think he's the third.
That's also mismanagement. I think it'd be Grayson. Like if he's still in there, again, I'd swap him out. But
somebody's Grayson Waller 0 across
Grayson
the board.
Waller. I think it's Grayson Waller because like nothing about you don't think about Grayson Waller in in-ring competition. I think out of everybody you named, in-ring competition is like he's last on the list.
That's why I think he can get away with it. But he's such a snarky heel that I almost feel like he would be able to pull off.
He's going to pull off like a dirty win. Like he's going to pull off like a dirty win.
And we'd be like, how did he get 6 points?
Who does Grayson Waller beat?
Grayson Waller. He beats Dragon Lee, Kevin Owens, and Santos. That's his 6 points right there. Well, that's 3 points.
I can see Kevin Owens. I can't see Santos. I don't know why, but yeah.
I see Kevin Owens the least.
My decision was based off the rest of the list, like as far as 0 goes.
Fair.
Like so, and I didn't want to say Grayson Waller because I know he's going to have a roll up on 2 guys who we weren't expecting. So
yes, he will beat Dragon Lee and he'll beat Kevin Owens, and that's his 6 points right there.
Yeah,
and that's Kevin. Awful. That's his 6 points, and their 0s right there. Off of that right there, Santos won't get a clean 0. Lashley's not getting a 0, and AJ's not getting a 0. So you figure Dragon Lee, Grayson Waller, Kevin Owens, because it ain't gonna be LA Knight. I'll tell you that much. We ride it if LA Knight is getting a 0 through the whole tournament. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, they might riot.
LA Knight's the guy that skips the whole tournament. Like they won't put him in there because I don't think we're ready for LA Knight in the round robin stuff. Just yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, that's where I'm at with it. It's the Continental Classic episode, man.
Word up.
Word, man.
That'd be solid, though. That'd be solid.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
That's where I'm at with it, fellas.
Good episode this week, man. 66 of those things in the books. Peace to Bug. You already know what time it is. We're live every Thursday night right here. So this is a channel, by the way, because we have multiple shows that are moving around. Know what I mean? That Around the Rings by Chad Law coming soon.
Yes, sir.
You know what I do on Mondays. I wasn't on this Monday, but you could definitely tap him back in next week with Thanks for the House. Know what I mean? But this is the flagship. This is the Ringside Club, man. We will be back next Thursday right here on these very streams.
I will see y'all fellas at Royal Rumble. Gang. Oh, no. World's End. Damn.
Yeah, World's End is popping up. There's nothing else coming up besides that, right?
I mean, I'll put
Ring of Honor and World's End.
TV title for ROH, yo. Y'all can tab in. We're doing a TV title defense for Ring of Honor. It's Honor Club exclusive, so it goes right to the TV title. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not defending the big belt for that.
Yeah, I don't think there's anything else between. It's just it's Ring of Honor. Then it's
Rumble season is coming up. That Punk and Seth promo is fire.
Next week, we're gonna talk. We're gonna get more closer to Royal Rumble talk as the time gets on. We're still like 2 months out, so it's like I don't feel like we need to be having a Royal Rumble prediction, and you know what I'm saying?
We can't get too crazy. All we know so far about the Royal Rumble is Cody is in and Punk is in.
Maybe next week we'll do a Royal Rumble memory lane show. just to get it out the way before January, so we can at least have something to be like, yo, y'all could. We've been
Whatever's
talking.
Clever.
Yeah.
Whatever's clever. All I know is like we're getting close to that season. We're getting close to that season, man. Rumble season, Mania season.
I'm excited.
I think NXT has. I think they have day one. I think January.
And I think AEW has, what is it? New Year's Evil or New Year's something.
NXT
and
has
yo,
New Year's
and
Eve.
listen, y'all. Wrestle Kingdom, motherfucker. Wrestle Kingdom is January 4th.
Let's hope Brian Danielson can make it there.
Wrestle Kingdom is January 4th. We right around the corner. It's that season.
Yeah,
man, this is the Ringside Club for Chad Law, for Ron the Don, of course, for Buzz. My name is AO. Catch us where you catch us. You heard? We out.